You fucking handle motherfucking citizen. You paid to get your ass here. That's it.
Making sure he hit me with a club, but you making sure. Okay. You ain't doing nothing but standing. That's it.
Bro, I look just like you, G. Bro, look, come on. I look just like you. G, if somebody was to put you on the ground like this, I'll put it on my godmother. I would not let that shit happen. 3 tours, I look just like you. G, I look just, I'm talking to you. I ain't talking to him or him. Bro, nigga, I look just like you. Bro, what would you think? Think about it. Think about it for a quick second. We look just alike. We look just alike, bro. If anything was to happen, your mama, my mama gonna look at each other like, how we gonna do this? I look just like you. You take off that blue uniform, guess what, bro? I look just like you.
Yeah, I'm talking all that shit. All that.
Drop that ass and pop it like a shooter. Bounce that ass and drop that ass and pop it like a shooter. Bounce that ass and drop that ass and pop it.
You checked in with your wife? I gotta check in.
My group from London, Maine, and Russia. The left side, because there's one there, they're actually running now.
What? What can you do that?
Man, you ain't get no camera on that. Get off your knees.
I'm doing the best that I can. They can do with what I got, huh?
You disperse and you're going to be arrested.
We children. Neither. We can be like, we ain't finished on
Police have just said that we are not dispersing.
We have a right to assemble. Hey, we ain't tripping, y'all. We ain't tripping. We ain't tripping, y'all.
Hey, bro, don't be scared. Or your daughter got killed, or your son got killed. You understand? Y'all take it that way. I love y'all, but y'all gotta realize where we coming from.
You finna work for your money. You finna work for your money.
I'm here for 2 hours. Each man and woman got 2 hours to be out here. We know the law.
2 hours.
2 hours.
No justice, no peace. 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 No justice, no peace.
I mean, it's a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. And just about told him, and that's why he shook my hand. After years of us leaning on the justice system for help, it's been telling us, like, you can't go and fail me. You understand? I'm gonna go. So if all I know is a protest, I'm a protest. You understand? So, and this is within our rights. But the crazy thing is though, I'm looking at all you guys out here, 200 of you guys. You guys are just doing your job.
Yo, watch your back. Watch your back.
Better hurry.
Made in McKinney, and I think it's River's line is made in Lamar. If we can manage to get a squad or two to form a River's line across Maine and Dallas, that large response in, so that we through the pressure.
It looks like, looks as if.
These guys in, we were in the wrong city, and now they're breaking into the garage.
Okay. It looks like it's just it looks as if.
Turned over to 82-1 Dallas. Down there in Dallas, but they opened up a window and there might be a group that's going on to them. Check out one. They're eastbound. Hey, where's that big house at?
These are number one. So somebody put together an arrest team. 5 people at least. Get him and bring him back. Why?
These white people, white boys.
We gotta walk this way.
Yo, y'all just push this way. Where? But y'all just push this way. I got that on video too. Where's your fire?
Yeah.
Hold it on! I'm moving. You gotta run, man. What's wrong? I'm going home, man. I'm trying to go home.
You guys get them. Let's take them in here inside for staging. No citizens.
It's our city. We live here. You live here. We're not going to do not put my hands on you. Get on their wrist. Hold on.
Next one.
We're up here at Vandals. Can you get a couple of officers here?
Ted.
And Ted, where are you from?
From Houston.
So what's going on? What do you want to talk to me about?
So the IRS was established in 1861. Slavery was abolished in 1865. So now, instead of owning slaves, they'll just take the money out of everyone's paychecks. It's a lot sneakier.
Okay,
It's a lot more deceptive.
Is that the reason why you're out here tonight?
Yeah, I want everybody to know it. Everyone.
But is that the reason why you're out here protesting tonight?
Oh no, I'm here for the protest, but I'm here specifically to spread that fact around, but I'm also here to protest the death, you know?
And what compelled you to come out tonight?
Honestly, I want everybody to be free, and I feel like everyone's currently not. Pretty much it.
Has it been pretty civil, or has it been violent?
I got here, probably 15 minutes ago, so I saw one person arrested over there, but that's about it. So.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Are you thirsty? Yeah, dude. Oh, shit. Oh, motherfucker, boy. Yeah. Hey, let's take them all down. Yeah, dude. Fuck swap. Yeah.
So can you give me your name and spell it?
It's Landon, Landon.
What's your last name?
Rankin, Rankin.
And where are you from?
Houston.
So where are we right now?
Downtown Houston. Middle of all this.
And you gave me some cell phone video. You want to tell me what you saw?
And
here, look at me when you're talking, otherwise I can't hear you.
Okay. We're going down some street, I don't know. People start throwing shit. Yeah, you're gonna believe that. They start throwing rocks and chairs and throwing trash cans through windows, and there was a cop car that was in the middle of the road. Everybody started flocking to it and throwing rocks through it, trying to flip it over, and I heard a bunch of people yelling about setting it on fire. So.
And what are you down here for?
I was just gonna check out the protest. Stuck down here a little bit longer than I wanted to be.
And from your experience so far, would you say that this has been violent, or would you say that this has been pretty calm? And
pretty calm, but I mean, everybody's gonna hear about the little violent incidents, but been calm for the most part.
Okay. Landon, I have permission to use your video, correct? Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your time. The question is, what's your first name?
Say that again.
What's your name?
My name Alan.
And what's your last initial?
Huh?
What's your last initial? So I don't have to give you. You don't have to give me your last name. We'll keep it anonymous.
G.
Thank you. And where are we right now? And what are you doing down here?
Hey, what I'm doing down here, man, it's not just about protesting about Floyd. It's just protesting about life, period, generally. Because I mean, at the end of the day, all lives matter. It ain't just about black lives. It's our lives. But see, the thing about police brutality, you gotta kill it. It gotta be done because they killing white people, they killing black people, they killing Chinese. America saying that the Chinese people brought coronavirus over here when they really released the shit because Donald Trump was finna get impeached. That's just how I feel. What's your next question?
Well, I just want to know what you're down here for and how you feel it's going.
I'm down here, man, and I feel like it's going pretty cool, but I'm gonna keep giving them hell. Ain't got no choice but to keep giving them hell. You know what I'm saying? Because they deserve hell. You know,
yes, sir.
That's just how I feel.
Okay, let me get your name one more time.
My name Alan.
I'm sorry?
Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
My name's Carlton Lewis.
How do you spell it?
Carlton. Lewis.
And you're from Houston?
Yes, sir.
So where are we right now?
We're in downtown Houston.
And what you got going on?
Man, I came down here for a parole class, and while I was down here, they stopped the buses. I was wondering why they stopped the buses, and they were like, "Hey, man, they protesting. I say, "What they protesting?" They say, "Man, Floyd got killed. George Floyd got killed." I say, "The black guy that's been all over the news." They say, "Yeah." So I walk around and see what's going on, and this is what I walk into. It's people everywhere, literally everywhere. Now, you would think it would be because it is a minority that it is mostly minorities out here, and that's where the problem is coming from. But I've been out here and I've seen it, and I've been recording on my YouTube, on my live feed. Every time something's been thrown, it has been a Caucasian person. I don't like to play the race card, but every time it escalates to a certain point, it is escalated because Caucasian has done something. If you go to my page, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see where they're taking the bikes off the metro rail and they're throwing them into the glass. But you don't see one black person do it.
So can I stop you for a moment?
Yes,
because what you're saying is actually, it runs similar to some of the other people have been saying something that's almost the same. And I mean, what everybody's out here protesting because, you know, I mean, what happened was absolutely horrific and it was unacceptable, correct?
Yes.
And but you think, but your experience has been that the true agitators out here that are violent are people that aren't minorities?
They don't have they're not out here for the cause. The ones that are riling it up are not out here for the cause. This was not about Houston police and Floyd being killed, because he was killed in Minneapolis. HPD didn't kill him. So this was just a peaceful rally. We were just walking. It was just supposed to be a peaceful rally, just honoring his name. Then you have agitators that come in that have that, oh, I'm mad at my mom and dad attitude, and they come out here and they rile it up, and they rile it up, and they rile it up. And when the tempers get so high, all they have to do is one thing. All I have to do is throw a bottle of water in the air and I can shoot it off. And that's what they're doing. And as soon as they do it, they go the opposite way.
Absolutely.
The flow goes one way and they go the opposite way.
Well, Carlton, I really appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chief, if you don't mind updating us on what we had out here today and the latest.
Well, I mean, we had a day that started off with people, especially young people, exercising the First Amendment rights. It was Black Lives Matter Houston did a great job early on, and then later on as the night progressed, what we had was people starting to not exercise the First Amendment right, but actually starting to vandalize and actually conduct themselves basically in a riot out here, breaking windows and things of that nature, and we just can't tolerate that. I mean, that's not First Amendment protected activity.
As far as injuries or concerned officers and people who are
we have, as of right now, it's a little past 1 a.m., we've had 4 officers injured that I'm aware of, and then 1 officer with heat exhaustion. We've had people throwing lit flares at us that can really injure you. Bricks, some bricks have been thrown at the officers, rocks have been thrown at the officers. We've had people throwing water bottles and even some frozen water bottles. And if you look at the restraint, not one protester was injured to my knowledge. We have no reports of that. But we have made dozens and dozens of arrests. I would venture to guess it's going to be well over 100, between about 100, probably about 150, closer to 200 arrests. But that's just an estimate. We still have a bunch of people to process. So I just ask for the people of Houston to realize, and especially those that are angry, you don't affect change by attacking each other as a society. 2 wrongs don't make a right. And at the end of the day, we hurt ourselves when we're damaging our own city. And I would just ask people to check their hearts in terms of how do we move the ball forward in terms of better policing, but also better circumstances. There's a lot going on in this world. Like I told my team leading into this, and Chief Finner, who's here, and Chief Slinker, he's over there doing something. We told our team, look, nerves are frayed right now. People have lost jobs. People have been cooped up. It's been the last 4 months have been very challenging for the people in the civilized world, and including here in Houston. And so we just need to be patient, and I think we did an overall pretty good job.
The extent of the officers' injuries?
They're all pretty minor. We've had several cars vandalized. I don't have a number of how many businesses were vandalized. He's been around all day. He might be able. You probably have a better count. What's the count? Do you know? Have you had a guess?
I don't think I should say.
Well, I mean, it's not.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I was walking.
A lot of broken windows.
I was behind a lot of broken windows.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, we want to help people exercise the First Amendment right. 2 things. No criminal activity. We can't allow it. This is our city that we all live in. We love this city. We love this community. And we have to protect people and property. The second piece is when people go on the freeway, they have to understand there's a lot of mental health issues in the world right now. And the one thing we don't need is like having in Charlottesville, where some guy decided to ram a car into a group of protesters that were standing in the middle of the street. We don't need people on a freeway where all of a sudden some guy in a big rig with an 18-wheeler decides to mow them down. And people have to think. And I have a feeling that hopefully they'll make better choices in the future.
Just about, I mean, tensions were certainly high at certain points tonight.
Yeah, but you know what? I also heard a lot there was a lot of screaming going on against the police, at the police. But then I heard a lot of really real connections with people talking about and looking at things through the prism of each other. I don't know if he witnessed it. Like I said, he's been around all night. But there were some really good interactions between the officers, especially the young people, that sometimes when we don't take the time to actually talk to each other, we don't realize that we have a lot of shared values, a lot of shared concerns. I just, Washington Post, I wrote an op-ed piece on behalf of the American police chiefs on what happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd, and I think it's really clear that we share the community's concern and anger. I mean, we're out here because of it, and we need to do better. But so does everybody else. It's a shared responsibility. The difference for us is that we've taken oath, right? And I heard you guys about somebody that want to tell you your badge number. Hey, man, I don't have it on here, but I think I'm easy to find. Just look at the stars. But it's Art Acevedo, ACVEDO 6227. We're done.
Thank you.
I mean, it ain't that complicated, right? But then again,
Simple things.
everybody's exhausted out here. We've all been running around. People are dehydrated. We need to get these folks transported so we can get them water. We've already ordered water for them because they're dehydrated, and we don't want to turn this into a medical emergency for people. So we've got that. Yes, sir.
Hey, I had a question for you. So the people that were boxed in over here and arrested, do you know what the charge is?
There were literally people that were just walking by.
I don't know. I haven't talked to the DA. So
There were literally people that were just walking in,
well,
walking by and caught no charges.
when we declare an area unlawful assembly, I know what you guys have been doing. Is you've been out here, actually videotaping all the activity. So I'm pretty confident none of you guys have been rioting because I've been seeing you out here. But there's been a lot of rioting going on, and it's just we got to take action.
I agree with you. And there's some people that are throwing stuff and breaking windows, and we're not okay with that.
No.
We're just here to cover the event.
Yeah. So and again, I think that you guys, like I said, I watched you all day out here, and so you're recording history, and I hope that the history that will be recorded is that our officers, we may not have been perfect here tonight, but we were very restrained. You saw that. I think on balance our folks did pretty well. So.
Chief,
all right, guys.
You had a pretty emotional exchange with one of the protesters where you were screaming, "This is our city too."
Well, I live here, man. I love this city. I've been coming to Houston since 1975. My family was in, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins have been here since the early 70s. So I've been coming up to Kingwood since I was a little boy. So when I got here 3.5 years ago, it was like coming home. And I plan on retiring in Houston. And I love it. It's a great city. We went from the pride of the world during Harvey to this behavior tonight. This is not consistent with Houston. And quite frankly, especially for these young people out here, especially the African American and Hispanic kids that are out here, we don't want the focus to move from bad policing to look at these folks out here, these young people of color, tearing up the city. And quite frankly, I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of white people out here that were the real agitators. And don't tell me you don't know that because you saw it.
Chief, what's your message to the residents tonight after a day of demonstrations out here?
Our message is that we will always do everything we can to support the First Amendment like these guys here. It's not that complicated, but there's a very distinct line between First Amendment protected activity and criminal activity. We will bend over backwards to let these young people but what happens is sometimes the anarchists like to get in the middle, start throwing stuff, and you will notice that if he'd use any munitions, I don't think you saw any, but people using batons.
Saw some pepper spray.
We shouldn't have had too much of that. We don't have that much pepper spray. We don't issue.
Steam from City Hall.
Yeah.
It was what?
Steam from City Hall.
Yeah, I don't think we issued pepper spray.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, and don't forget that some of the people in the crowd have pepper spray. Okay. So. We don't issue pepper spray. I got one because I'm an old cop that's never carried a taser, so I've always had pepper spray. But I haven't. It's still here. I haven't used it.
Chief, Would you say that it's HPD's policy to identify when asked?
It is.
Okay. Were any of your officers instructed to remove their name badges?
No.
Okay, because I seen a lot of the officers out here tonight. They had no name badges, and
Yeah.
none of them would identify when I asked them.
Well, if you have those videos, just send them to me.
Your
We'll
email?
we'll
Okay,
be
I
able
got
to
your
find
email.
them. We'll be able to find them. Because at the end of the day, hey, it's not that complicated, man. Just wear your name, and if somebody asks you. But you know what?
A lot of them removed them.
But well, that's a problem. They need to have them. So just send me the video. Okay?
Chief, thanks, guys. Gonna have to be quick. Appreciate it, Chief. All right.
Long day.
Yeah. Bueno, esta noche lo que hemos visto me da una gran tristeza lo que ocurrió en otras partes del país. Me han dicho que ha visto mucha violencia en otras partes. Aquí en Houston, desgraciadamente, la mayoría de las personas que estaban protestando estaban respetando la ley, pero había muchos que no, especialmente en la noche, no respetaron la ley. No podemos permitir la delincuencia. Mientras que yo sea jefe en esta ciudad, vamos a apoyar los derechos civiles de nuestros habitantes, pero nunca vamos a permitir la delincuencia, porque esta es nuestra ciudad. Y cuando la policía te dice que ya esta área es un riot, no sé cómo se dice en español, una revuelta, tienes que irte, y si no te vas preso. Así que tenemos que respetar, pero el respeto tiene que ser mutual, y más que nada tenemos que respetar a nuestra ciudad. Okay? All right, thanks guys. Thanks guys.